So many witnesses are lying on him. They're all lying on him. But the one thing we know is a constant is that he lied to them. Mark Tinsley's lying. Jeannie Secondger's lying. Shelley Smith is lying. Blanca's lying. Everybody's lying on the master liar.
Some harsh words. That was the lead prosecutor today, blasting Alex Murdaugh as a liar. And remember, he spoke to the jury, so that becomes a critical question. Prosecution wrapping up its case today. Tomorrow will be the defense's turn. But this morning, the jury and alternates started the day taking off from the Colleton County Courthouse in a convoy of vans with blackout windows, heading to the scene of the crime at the Murdaugh family farm called Moselle. The defense had asked the judge for permission to make the trip, arguing it would be useful for jurors to get a sense of the space where the killings took place. The prosecution objected, saying a lot had changed on the property in the 20 months since the murders. The judge granted the visit, placed strict limits, though, on it. Jurors not allowed to talk to each other or anyone else while at the property. They had questions. The judge was the only person they could ask. Only media allowed were 3 people picked randomly to provide video coverage to all media, which you're seeing here. They were, of course, not allowed to point their cameras at the jurors, who had about a half hour to visit the nearly 1,800-acre property, getting a firsthand look at the locations they've heard about throughout the trial. They spent most of their time at the kennels and the shed where Maggie and Paul Murdaugh were brutally gunned down. They also got to see the exterior of the family's house, where we've heard testimony from Murdaugh that he took a nap there before going to see his mother the night of the killings. The judge went in a separate vehicle. Members of the defense team also joined, and the state attorney general was there too. The group wrapping up the visit and getting back to court for the prosecution's closing arguments. Angenette Levy, you are there. So let me ask you on this visit. They also visited another scene there. What was that about?
Well, they visited the kennels, of course, but then the exterior up by the house. And there was one reason the defense wanted them to go up there was to see just how far away that was. And we are thinking that has to do with the gunshots and whether or not Alec Murdaugh, as he's hopping on the golf cart after getting the chicken out of Bubba's mouth and going on the golf cart back up to the main house, whether or not they might be able to actually hear that and just kind of visualize the distance there. And you can see it on drone footage and things like that. So he said it would be about a 2-minute drive from the kennels in the golf cart to the home.
How big a deal do you think this visit is, Misty?
I actually think this is very helpful for the jury to visualize some of the testimony, and that's the purpose of a site visit. But coming on the heels of the experts in the rebuttal case, where the critical issues were the placement of the victims and the shooter, I think this was a really good opportunity for the jury to understand some of that spatial reasoning. I think the prosecution's concerned because they said that the trees were overgrown. It was much different. What you could see potentially from the kennels to the house might have substantially changed.
And Dante, see, I think the reason it helps the defense is anything that creates doubt, right? Anything helps the defense.
Yeah, so they can go there and look for their own self and see, well, this doesn't really add up, or this isn't exactly how the prosecution said, so maybe they're wrong about their investigation. But also, I think they objected to it because they understand that this humanizes people. You have to be a monster to kill your wife and son. But when they see where you live, where they see your house, it makes you a person. And to me, it's harder to say that someone you've seen where they live, where you start to understand them, that they're the monster who committed these crimes.
Yeah. And one of the things that they talked about in the closing arguments was the family legacy. It's number 5. And this is one of the reasons that prosecutors say that Alex Murdaugh did this. Let's listen.
That legacy was in danger. And it was threatening also to expose him for who he really was, which would totally destroy his part of that legacy. Lose his career, lose his bar license, face consequences like he's never seen.
What are we going to see from the defense, Dante, tomorrow?
I think we're going to see them paint him as a person who had problems, who had difficulties. He lied a lot, he stole a lot, but there was never a connection to go from liar to murderer. And I think that's what they're going to highlight tomorrow.
All right. We will be watching it closely. Dante Mills, Misty Marris, Angenette Levy, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.